performance there by J King.
J King, full plot armor.
J King is pushing himself into the ranks of the legend.
J King is our world champion! J King 7! What? The back-to-back Cards world champion!
Hello guys, welcome back to another video, and today we are going to be doing sort of the concluding episode for the May 2024 Road to Rank 1. As you can see, the May 2024 season ended at the end of when I stopped recording last video. I lost a second game on Jaguar, and then I switched to Japan-Poland, an edited version, and then proceeded to hit rank 1, and then didn't really have to play any more games. I played one more game just to create a buffer space, but as you can see, we ended in rank 1 with our opponent just 1 point behind us. And I've been playing some games this season. Somebody actually just hit rank 1 already. So, you know, we're not going to be the first one. I'm only rank 4. But I did want to show off some, just a couple games on this deck, just as a way to conclude this season, since I didn't end up recording any of the games that I actually played on this deck. But yeah, this season was very fun. I know a lot of people struggled just because there was no clear single best, like, one meta deck to pick, like there often is in the past. And for people trying to climb very high on ladder, I understand why that's frustrating, because there's not just one deck. You need to be sort of a master of a number of different decks and rotate between them as necessary. And also you have to be able to sort of take a lot of risks that a lot of people aren't very comfortable with. So I know a lot of people who like just like picking the number one meta deck and grinding it nonstop struggled this month. And I'm just kind of unsure how I feel about it. I'm happy that there's a break, because Cards for a very long time, it was just like the one or maybe two ladder decks you could play if you wanted to get anywhere high, and you know, you just played those decks over and over and over. There being like a pretty big variety of decks that you see even top players playing is interesting. I like it. It does, again, make climbing kind of hard, but for as long as the deck stealing feature is in the game, I suppose, you know, you'll be able to quickly figure out what the person on first is playing. But yeah, just talking about this deck a little bit. It's Japan-Poland Legions, and actually this is the deck that I used to get top 10 last month. I've made a couple changes. This is a similar deck to the one that the guy in rank 1 is playing. Now, like, I saw his list, like I had someone else play against him and sent me his version of the list. I don't like his version of the list. The big difference is he runs Kika. I do not like Kika again, I talked about this in the Kika getting rotated video. Hipper was my opponent's best card there. I do not like Kika in just Japan control decks. I think it's just objectively bad. I think it's worse than Goshiken, and I think it's worse than Hien, and I think it's unclear whether you run either of those. I used to run 2 Goshikens, but that's because there was a ton of Brits on ladder. Brits sort of fell off, at least from what I was seeing at the end of this month. There was a lot of Germany, a lot of Japan, a decent chunk of the US, honestly. Not a lot of Soviet, not a lot of Britain. So what I liked about his list is he ran Winter Regiments, where I ran Goshikens. And I think Goshikens was correct last month when there was a lot more Britain. In a meta with a lot more Japan, a lot more US, a lot more Germany, Winter Regiments definitely were working much better. So I thought that was quite a good choice. Is our opponent holding countermeasure? Like, he didn't play Panzergren. No countermeasure. Okay. Well, maybe like a frontline one, like an envelop or something. And then the other thing that I really liked about his list is the 2 Uprising. I thought it was a little clunky at first, but I am now on the 2 Uprising, just because this deck is kind of capable of creating these sort of miracle comebacks. So as long as you can clear the board, you know, you can just, like, with a Tar Now and a Dream, you can sort of pull wins out that you really have no business winning. I think that we'll just do this. Now, I did make, after a couple games, I made an additional change to the deck. I added Out the Mists. Just, again, a lot of Japan, a lot of German Japan. Out the Mist is a very, very good card. Against those decks, works similarly to the Winter Regiment. I took out a couple of the 1-drops And because the units you salvage are Japanese units, it actually sort of helps you reach the expansion that, you know, you're trying to reach anyways. We'll drop a little bit of an early tie now. This is a very bad matchup. Like, I'll just probably trade and drop an ASW patrol or something. But, like, you know, my hand is full, and he gets to nuke any big unit I play. I guess I could have gone for, like, Plan West instead. Yeah, the Winter Regiment was a draw this turn, so I couldn't have just Winter Regimented this. He keeps the Panzergun alive, which is a big mistake by him. He definitely should have traded this, because now I get to actually just take it. Although I think I might actually just take it without the mist. Like, out the mist, because... Well, no, I'll just Plan West. We'll take this, and then Plan West. I could have done it without Winter Regiment, I suppose. Like, with just Bombing Raid, Audacity, and Out the Mist. Not in that order. But, you know, I like getting the Winter Regiment on the board. And he did drop the Sudden Strike, which was a bit weird from him last turn. So we might be actually be able to just out-survive this guy. And that's... I didn't drop a single game on Japan-Poland since switching to this deck. Just because it's... Man, like... some of the games against Control were a bit close, but, like, this deck just sort of chews through mid-range. Now, this guy is, like, a very heavy version of German-US. Much heavier than most people. So this is going to be a little bit harder. I mean, I think we just do this. Clear the board, you know. We're not pushing up Winter Regiment because he's going to run Schützens. Also, it's nice to try to make him play Alpenfestung at, like, something like 10 health, rather than, you know, 1 health. Just try to force it out from him. And when he plays it, he will shred his deck. And if he does not have Comet in hand at that point, like if he destroys Comet on Alpenfestung, I think we win. Unless he's, you know, running a large number of heavy units. But at this point, I think Uprising's already at like 6 or 7 damage. Ah, he has Comet in hand, of course. I might just out the mist. My own guy, to be completely honest. So, he's now at the point where Shiden is 8 damage. He has to be worried about an additional 5 from hand if I have like a Type 93. Second Maelstrom, that's really annoying, but we have more burst. Okay, Panzer Age, so we'll go for a Raiding Brigade, maybe. Africa Corps. Well, our opponent has 17 credit slots, which is insane. So there are some crazy combos we have to worry about. I mean, I think we start with this, because we can play Recon if he kills it. I don't think I push this up. I think giving him a shoots and target is worse than just the chance that he, like, sudden strike hits face does some stuff from there. Please don't discard Sheeden. Doesn't discard Sheeden. So now he has to make a choice. Does he Alpenfesting or does he not? Because I can play around From the Deep or Night Hunters or whatever he is playing. But if he plays Alpenfesting, he goes to like 6 cards in deck. Can he win with 6 cards in deck in his hand? From my perspective, entirely possibly. From his perspective, he doesn't know. But yeah, the deck code for this will be in the description. He pushes up, trades out the Artie. Are you feeling safe on 4 health? That is the question. Looks like he's not going to play Alpenfesting. Drops the autocannon. The War Machine is holding up a countermeasure. As long as it's not, you know, like the... As long as it's not Stranglehold. Play around any other countermeasures, like Stubborn Defense. And we got him. That's sort of the issue with Alpenfesting, is you don't really know when your opponent's going to kill you. But that's how the game works. Or that's how this deck works, I should say. We'll play one more on this. Again, this is just meant to be like a quick recap video, a bit more gameplay. Show off the types of games I was playing to hit rank 1. But yeah, I mean, to be honest, like the games I didn't record, they weren't particularly exciting. Like, I stopped recording and then I lost again on Jaguar. I switched to this and then won, like, you know, 10 in a row or whatever. And most of the games are just pretty grindy. Japan-Poland wins, as you saw last game. So we always keep Audacity, keeping the 1-drop. I see arguments for keeping both of these. I think 56th Recon, Germany's not consistently playing enough 1-health units for that to matter. Man, I have been hit by so many turn 1 Nakshubs since season reset. Like, I think this is like my 4th turn 1 Nakshub in like 10 games. Or something like that. Alright. Well, he drops the 35T, which is interesting. It's a bold choice. I mean, if he has another, then good for him. We're playing the Recon over the Type 94 because I'm not sure what his ally nation is, and also, like, if it's Japan, I don't want him to be able to trade with, like, with a 1-drop and then do a 4-credit turn. I think we just drop Audacity. Like, if it kills the tank, we're happy. If it hits Nakshub, it's gonna die at some point to the 56th Recon. Okay, so we take out the tanks. That's 235Ts. You know, we can, like, Southern plan here. That would be annoying. If he does something slow, like a Panzer H, we'll probably just drop Dragon Slayer. Okay, Dragon Slayer of his own. We can just kill it. And we absolutely will. I think I like playing 56th Recon over passing, because we're definitely not pushing up. Pushing up is just walks into his on-curve Panzergrenadier, on-curve Schützen, plus Nakshub credits. So Panzergun, and we know he has Sendai in hand. I don't know why I'm playing the units to the right of the signal regiment. That is not what I should be doing. So I could push this. Try to keep it back. I could just push a 15th cav. Also plays around countermeasures. Like, it gives some free credits, but the question is how good is free credits? And if he takes this trade, then it means recon trade. You know, like if he makes a 4/4 Ghost Face, I can trade these two in, and it will kill this and kill this. So he does take that trade. Also means Out the Mist top deck is quite good for us. Man, I want you to look at how terrible my hand looks like right now. Like how just over this game looks like. And if I win this game, I'm not saying I will, because it is looking very, very bad. But if I win this game, remember this position, because I feel like the Poland deck just sometimes some of the wins it gets, man, are just really, really wild. Well, the uprising is going to be on 0 because we haven't had any Polish units die. So I guess we do this, see what else is in his hand. Schützen, MEBF. Yeah, I mean, we just kind of have to play out our hand. Again, I should have played this to the left of the signal regiment. This brings uprising to 1, and then we deal another 1 damage. If we can find a Plan West or a Tar now off the top, and you know, that's 6 cards of my deck, plus the draws. There's the Plan West. You know, that's brings uprising to 3, which is enough to kill any of the units currently on his board. But not enough to kill like an FW or something that Schützen. Although Schützen will matter marginally less. Pushes up Signal Regiment. It's a bold choice. So we'll go for the trade. Find Tar now, which is good, but not good enough at the moment. Here's the expansion. Okay, so he gets the draw, and then he's going to make a 5-5, but then the 5-5 is presumably going to hit this. And if he doesn't sack Legions, it means we get to fully clear the board and get back Dragon Slayer. Oh, he's 6-6 even, actually. So the one issue is that he keeps a Schützen. Would I rather have Scouting Party on board or not? So this is 3 damage, right? Yeah, so we're getting back Dragon Slayer. Would I rather have 2 1/1s or 2 card draw? And 2 pings. We wouldn't have the credits to do Sheet and Dragon Slayer face. I think I'd probably want the 2 card draw. We also just find out if we're dead. Okay, well, we're just dead because he has Comet in hand. But, you know, if you had any other card other than Comet there. I mean, we're on 1 health, obviously. There's a couple cards that kill us, but... Like, look at how close this game was to turning the corner. This is really what the Japan-Poland deck is all about. It's just these long, grindy wins. And these long, grindy wins where you're able to grind out control if they don't have a lot of card draw because you just wipe the board a couple of times with uprisings or generate too much value off of your Tarnows. But you're also able to get these long, grindy games where you don't even have a great start against a deck like Japan Frontline, or German-Japan mid-range, US Frontline, etc. Jagro. Yeah, it's just this all-around, well-rounded deck, and well, that'll be it for the games. There's no reason to extend out this video. There's still only the 1 guy field marshal. But we can take a look at the list. So again, in terms of early game, 2 Type 94s, this card's just insane. I'm currently rocking 2 Cavalry, 1 Yokosuka. I couldn't decide which ones I liked more, because Yokosuka is really good for trading out. But the issue is, if you just push it up expansion, or like push it up on turn 1, a 1/1 is really, really remarkably bad. So I'm trying 2-1, you know, maybe 2 Yokosuka, 1 Cavalry, 3 Cavalry. I'm not sure which is better. Then we have a full stack of Recon regiments. This is just intel, and the destruction effect's quite good. Only 2 expansion, because you will find a lot of card draw with the 2 Recon regiments, the 2 Scouting Party, the 2 Tarnow, the 2 Karases draw you cards. And then for the other Polish slots, you have the 4 Plan West, 2 Uprising, 2 Tarnow, 2 Karas. And then I have 1 Orp Bliskavitska, or something along the lines of that. This is the only healing card in the deck. And there's just some limited amount of healing can be good enough. It's also 3 credits. And then I have 1 Underground State. just because I think Underground State's an incredibly underrated card. Other people playing Japan Poland seem to hate this card. I don't know why. Your opponent plays a turn 4 Dragon Slayer, you play turn 4 Underground State. You trigger an Intel, you buff Plan West, you play it on 3, you summon Allegiance, which is going to get buffed in the future. It's also a guard to protect against, you know, there are other units currently on board. It's very rarely a dead card. And unlike Orp Bliskavitska, sometimes this card is just 3k, heal 1, do nothing. Because, you know, you rip an expansion. So some people want 2 of these. I prefer 1 and 1 with the Underground States. And then the top end is just 2 Tarnow's, Shiden, Dragon Slayer, 2 Winter Regiments, which might not feel like a lot, but again, this can really go toe-for-toe with ramp a lot of the time. And then, of course, you do have the 1 Signal Regiment just because you are generating a lot of tokens with this deck. So this is, this is sort of just like a secondary win condition. So, yeah. That's the deck. That's the deck that I suppose, quote-unquote, won the season. And, I mean, it is actually a very similar deck, again, to, I think this might be... Yeah, this is the deck that the guy who got second on season was running. So, again, I mentioned the card differences before, but, you know, he has the 1 Kika. He has the 2 Orp and no Underground States. And he has... more 1-drops. He has the Yokosuka Cavalry, and doesn't have the Alchemists. I think the Alchemists are really, really good. But yeah, that is the deck. Again, code down below if you want it. And that wraps up the May 2024 season. I got a gold, my season rewards, on top of the packs. My gold elite was the Joseph Stalin, gold Joseph Stalin, which... It's a pretty whatever elite, but let me know what gold card you got. What did you get anything nice in your packs? What decks have you played, and what decks are you looking forward to? Because by the end of next month, on June 11th, so in 11 days, we are getting the next expansion to Cards. So, you know, next month, next Road to Rank 1 is going to be very, very different. The OCC that I have qualified for through this ladder placement is going to be played with the tournament. With the new expansion cards, it's going to be the first tournament of the expansion, so I'm very excited to have made it. So yeah, let me know what you were excited for. Let me know any of your thoughts about this season down below. Subscribe if you haven't. Thank you very much to everyone who has donated, and I will catch all of y'all in the next one.